you. Not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Chilio here, and my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's national award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. TB, I love you. It's incredible. It's been an incredible day. I want to remind you we're live Friday at Calhoun's on the river. And it's going to be, shall we say, utterly insane in your membrane down there as we get ready for what should be a spirited weekend. In the meantime, we're going to stay here and continue to chop it up. Chop it up. Where'd that saying come from? I don't know. I like it, though. The great William Pattison chops it up every day, and he makes it happen. And I love this guy. And he's up next on Fan Run Radio, followed by Dubsy and the Gang. Shout out to my man Bob Baskerville and the Bear. Until we meet again, I love you. Peace.
105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
And here we go live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. It's the Playbook presented by VIP Play. With Brett Hollander, Allie Campbell, and Alex Sarkis, I'm William Pattison. We appreciate you listening along with us on this Tuesday afternoon from Knoxville, Tennessee. And we've got plenty to cover over the next 2 hours, including some bulletin board material from a Florida linebacker as we get ready for Tennessee and Florida this weekend in Gainesville, a rivalry matchup that has plenty of storylines heading into this one for both teams, but also just taking the spectacle of this is a big game every year because of the two teams going up against each other. Aaron Childs, the linebacker for the Gators, had some things to say about how they anticipate to continue the home winning streak against the Volunteers in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. We'll talk about that. Also begin our best bets look ahead as we get ready for Week 13 of the college football season. Flying by, had a great weekend this past week in Week 12, plus 4.65 units. We'll look to continue it during our Best Bets look ahead. Also in hour number 2, we now have some new details about Boo Carter and now his side of the story, as he did an exclusive interview with Football Scoop and John Bryce. And we'll tell you what Carter had to say about it and how he is taking the departure from Tennessee. We'll also do our Week 11 NFL takeaways, our one big takeaway from the NFL slate. And then we'll also do some plane/lane watching as Lane Kiffin continues to be the talk of college football. I just sat through 15 minutes of Pat McAfee. I don't usually do that. I'm not a big McAfee guy. I do like him on game day. I think he provides some energy. But Lane Kiffin joined the Pat McAfee show, talked about the current situation that he's in. And I scroll Twitter now and I see another grainy picture of a plane or Lane Kiffin in a parking lot with a hoodie on. We have officially entered the coaching carousel / Lane Kiffin watch in Oxford. And also another coaching hire yesterday, James Franklin, going to going to Virginia Tech, I should say, the former Penn State head coach going to Virginia Tech. We'll talk about the coaching carousel at the end of the show. But we will begin today talking about how Tennessee cooked up some rice last night inside TBA at FCC. But before we do so, let's welcome in the rest of the crew, beginning with Allie. Allie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. As always, I was looking at the show sheet, and I was looking for buy or sell, and I was all confused. I thought it was Thursday.
Oh.
So, week has felt long somehow, but we're on day 2, so...
Well, there are only 2 days in the week that begin with T, so we've knocked one off the list, and now you just have to wait for the next one.
It's not over yet.
And it'll be...
halfway.
Well,
Yeah.
We've gotten to Tuesday, I said.
Yeah, you're right.
We've gotten to Tuesday.
It was a long night probably for at the basketball arena last night, wasn't it?
True.
Did you go to the game last night?
Oh, no, I didn't.
No.
Oh, you
okay.
didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was there.
That was all Alex.
I was there until we left at 1:30, I think.
Jeez.
Oh,
Are
my
you serious?
gosh.
Yeah.
Alex.
Those late tips, man.
That outdid me.
Good
What in the
night,
world
shirt.
could you be writing on that,
Wow.
that last night?
Huh?
So what are you writing on last night?
Hey, I mean, look
We
at
had it. Well, the big thing is it takes Rick 45 minutes
That's
to
true.
come do his presser. That's what
Yes.
takes the
Oh,
longest
yeah.
because he
I
does
guess
his
that's
radio
true.
show. So
he
He
he's
had
a,
to find
he's a
out the
man of the
Estrella
people.
news, things like that.
yeah,
He's a man of the people. He's got to, make his rounds.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that JP Estrella injury here in a minute, but you gotta credit a young aspiring journalist like
I love
Alex.
it. That's the thing, man. I love the grind.
Is willing to stay into the wee hours of the morning. Well, I guess maybe not the wee hours of the morning, the early hours
Playing
of the
Barnes
morning.
for the late tip too, I guess.
Yeah.
That doesn't help. That
Yeah.
was crazy. I almost forgot it was on. It was so late.
Yeah. Well, you got a former assistant Rob Lanier
Better
on the
than watching Monday
sideline.
Night Football, though, I guess.
Yeah, well, that wasn't very funny. But Monday Night Football ran longer than Tennessee basketball did.
It did, yeah.
You were watching Geno Smith and the Raiders attempt to play football. It's still around 11:30. So,
It's crazy.
Brett, how about you? How are you today?
I'm okay, William. Tennessee Athletics got me down in the dumps these days, man. I tell you, I don't know. Between Tony leave, it all started kind of when Tony stuff happened. Really, it's like he leaves, and you got Boo, you got the football team struggling. I haven't got into this basketball team yet. Lady Vols are struggling. It's just I need something positive to happen. I need us to do something with this. And then the good news for me is LeBron's back tonight, so I'm excited about that. The best player ever.
I mean, I'm trying. Are things that bad? I mean, like,
Yeah, did I say one thing positive right now? Name one thing positive right now over there on campus.
On Kindness Day last week, Brett, you had to change your mindset, and maybe if you change your mindset this week,
I need something to fire me up over there, man. Nothing's good right now.
Tennessee, Florida could fire you up.
Lady Vols volleyball claimed the 4 seed.
Oh, there you go,
and
Brett.
has 2
Volleyball's
buys.
putting on for you this year.
And I guess basketball recruiting could be good. I've heard some good things about
That's
this
true,
Rippy
too.
Jr. as
Yeah.
well. So people know I'm down in the dumps, and they've been trying to send me positive vibes through text.
Is it anything positive, or does it have to be?
I mean, the
Tennessee
positive.
sports?
Well, I mean, that's what we cover.
I know.
And I need
Well, I
something
know, but-
positive to where I come in here positive.
I know,
things like
but I'm just
that.
saying, if it does it have to be?
And it's Florida week. We don't win down there. That doesn't help anything. That I know my Saturday could be ruined come 11 o'clock at night on Saturday.
Could be.
Will be. Is that
Let's be
better?
optimistic.
Oh, will be. That's not
Not
good
what I
either.
was looking for.
Did you see Tennessee lost out on Miles Sadler, Brett?
Well, I'm hoping that's good news because we're going to get Rippy Jr. So I'm trying to think of that as spin that a positive way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have loved Miles Sadler, but
Got a good text on that yesterday. Hopefully, we'll be able to land him here in the future.
I'm just looking for something positive, man.
Yeah.
I need something.
Anything going on campus that's positive, Alex? How are you today?
Well, actually, I'm not bringing the best vibes into the
There we
studio.
go.
Oh,
today.
no.
Oh, dear.
Right before I got in
no.
the car to drive over here, I had my AirPods in my pocket,
Oh, they fell
and
out.
I sat in the car, and they fell out of my pocket into the the abyss of death between your seats. So I went to go reach for my AirPods, and I ended up knocking them somewhere under my center console, and and now they're ungettable. I mean, they are
Ungettable.
just gone.
Ungettable.
Wow.
I was
have to take it
trying
apart
for
to get 'em?
yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Do we need to do
Wow.
some maintenance after the
we,
show?
we might have to, because I love my AirPods. So
So you're getting them out of your AirPods
no,
case?
the
or-
whole case fell.
Oh, the whole case.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're
Wow.
they're gone. I mean,
man.
So that's what happened to me, literally right before I got over here.
Okay, well, I did notice when I was putting in the graphics that you had
Did
some
you see- you
AirPods.
see the
I thought you were
AirPods
doing
pulled
some
up?
Christmas shopping. I was like,
I mean, hopefully, I'm gonna try my best to get them. I might have to take it
How
apart.
do you get your AirPods from being unstuck?
yeah, that is
it's,
true.
It's rough right now, but
Maybe take the mechanic, the shop, see if
Yeah.
they can just take out the console. How bad do you want those
That's
AirPods?
crazy.
I want them bad.
All right, let's dive into our first things first topic, and that is the Vols cooking up some rice last night as the University of Tennessee men's basketball team led from start to finish Monday night in a 91-66 triumph against Rice at Food City Center. Senior forward Felix Akpara paced number 20 Tennessee, that improved to 4-0 on the season with a game and career high 20 points, adding 8 rebounds in the program's 40th consecutive non-conference home victory. And we'll dive into our takeaways from last night. And really over the last couple of games, I even did some number crunching, had a couple of people send me some numbers. Shout out to J-Mo. Tennessee right now over their last 3 games is top 10 in adjusted offensive efficiency in the country. And I think you've seen that in performances like last night where you put up 91 points. You put up a lot of points against Northern Kentucky as well, and North Florida. In addition to that, you've played some really good offense over the last couple of weeks, or couple of games, I should say. I thought you got off to a little bit of a better start last night. Some of those starts in those first 4 minutes I've had a little bit of an issue with. But credit Rice, they were knocking in a couple of buckets as well. Some tough shots were going in. They were driving through contact, finishing at the rim. But offensively, I feel like Tennessee's getting pretty equal production from a lot of different faces. Nate Ament continues to impress. He was a little bit quiet in the first half, but got to the free throw line a good amount in the second half. Jacoby Gillespie, we'll talk more about him here in a minute. But I thought last night was one of his most complete games on both ends of the floor as a defender and being able to facilitate the offense. Thought he was really good off ball. Thought he was good with the ball, trying to find his shot, but also trying to find other guys' shots. Had a couple of nice lob opportunities. And then Felix Akpara, JP Estrella goes down early in this one. Akpara is able to put together a really solid performance, one of his best performances in a Tennessee uniform, and I think that speaks volumes to the type of progression that he made this offseason. There were a lot of talks that he has become even a better athlete than he was last year and has refined his offensive game a little bit more. I think you saw parts of that last night. So that's always a positive. I thought the defense did their job for the most part. The leading scorer for this Rice team, we'll talk about his tough night here in a minute, Trey Bodenax had a really tough night. He missed all 16 of his attempts from the floor, and that's literally taking out their best player. So I thought Tennessee read the scout correctly, did their job in forcing tough shots on him. Obviously, there were a couple other Owls that had a strong performance for them, but taking out an opposing team's best player was a job well done for Tennessee overall. And then we'll talk about JP Estrella here in a minute. I think in terms of a negative from last night, that's a bit of a concern. But I also will give a positive to Ethan Berg, a guy that I'm not huge on. I thought Berg played probably his best game of the season last night as well. I still am team Troy Henderson. I think he has the highest ceiling out of the guards on this roster outside of Jacoby Gillespie. But I will give credit where credit's due. I thought Berg played well. My takeaways from last night, Allie, what did you make of last night's win over the Rice Owls?
Yeah, I thought that this is a very well-rounded group with a lot of guys able to produce in a lot of different ways. So we can turn to anyone and expect them to step up when it's needed. I thought that Felix Okpara was someone who stepped up last night, of course. So seeing a lot from him at this point in the season is exciting. And then getting a solid win over a Rice team that you expect to beat well, but they have Rob Lanier on their side, and that's someone that knows a lot of what Rick Barnes is going to throw at you. So getting a dominant win over a Rob Lanier-led team, I think, is definitely a big win over there. And there's several guys that have the possibility of getting double-doubles on any given night. So that's obviously something that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, this Rice team is going to be, I think, in the middle to upper pack of the American Conference this year. I think the American's a little top-heavy. Memphis was supposed to be one of the top teams. They've gone off to a tough start. UAB's fielded a couple of good teams with Andy Kennedy over the last couple of years. But I throw South Florida in there as well. South Florida, another talented group. But Rice could very well be towards the middle top of the American Athletic Conference, AAC. But again, another tune-up opportunity. Brett, I know you don't like these games a lot.
No.
Thankfully, after Thursday, you've got 6 straight games of good basketball. So just hold on tight to the rope here. What'd you take away from last night?
Another win. Jalen Carey actually played well. I thought, especially in the first half, played more energy than he has been. I think Barnes is finally getting to him. But yeah, it was just it was a good performance. Okpara was good. Second half was especially good for the team. I thought that was their best half of offensive basketball. You got it kind of from everywhere, so that was good to see. Yeah, it was just a good, solid performance, and something to build on.
Alex, what about you? You were in the arena last night till 1:30. Surely you've got some takeaways from this one.
I do, and I think my biggest one's got to be the front court. And we talked to Jalen Carey after the game, and he said he thinks Tennessee's got the best front court in the country. And, that's a bold statement to make, especially after a few years where Tennessee really didn't have the depth that they have this year in the paint. So, I mean, that first half, Tennessee dominated in the paint. I think they had almost a quarter or maybe even half of their first half points in the paint, and they were really going to it. And just the depth there, whether it be Jalen Carey, who Brett said had a great night after, having to go through some struggles against North Florida. And Rick Barnes said that, it goes back to practice. And he said Jalen Carey worked on that a lot this week. He got with the coaches. Jalen Carey brought more energy, and that's something that they told him to work on. And I thought, he looked good. But, yeah, Felix going off for the career night. Even when JP goes down, there's still depth there that you can get scoring from, which is the important thing. And, we'll see what the status of that is. But, no, front court, they look miles better than they have these past few years, and that depth's going to be big, especially in a conference play.
Yeah, very timely takeaway right there from Alex as we talk about that post presence from this Tennessee basketball team. Felix Okpara had his first 20-point performance and came on a 8 of 10 shooting, as he also set a career best and made field goals. The Lagos, Nigeria native also made all 4 of his free throws and had 2 assists as well. And 4 games in, I kind of want to echo what Alex just talked about, having one of the best front courts in the country. What I've seen down low from Tennessee is that you could get production from anyone, whether it's Dwayne Brown, a guy that was in high school last year, whether it was Felix Okpara, a guy that's been in this program for a minute, but now I think continues to take that next step. Whether it's Cade Phillips or Jalen Carey, 2 guys that are a little bit undersized but can bang around down low and have a touch of athleticism to them. And then you've also got JP Estrella, who I've been the most impressed by. Obviously, he goes down last night with what seemed to be an hyperextended knee. We don't have an answer on his status at the moment. We'll talk more about that here in a minute, but I feel like this is one of the deepest front courts Tennessee has had maybe ever with Rick Barnes. And you had some good teams with like a John Fulkerson and Alexander, and those were like in the early Barnes days, the first 2 or 3, 4 years. But those Euros years where Fulkerson was still kind of hanging on by a thread, like those years you didn't really have a true offensive threat in terms of a back to the basket. You had guys that could rebound. You had guys that could bang around, and you had guys that maybe got you in trouble a little bit, like Euros. But this year, you've got a mix of everything. You've got your offensive-minded guys. You've got your physical, tough guys. You've got your rebounding from everyone. I'd even throw Nate Amon in that conversation as a rebounder. He had another double-double last night, or just right, 19 and 10. So I feel like your attack on the glass is really, really good, but you've also just got different pieces, different things you can throw. Last season, that was not the case. It was, if Felix Okpara got in foul trouble, Cade Phillips, you better grow up quick because you're going to have to start guarding fives or you'd have to go small ball. This year, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I know there was a lot of criticism of how Rick Barnes and this staff attacked the transfer portal. You obviously miss on a Rodney Rice and miss on a Isaac McNeely. But one thing they hit on this offseason in general was making sure that that front court is not going to be an issue like it was at times last year. And in the SEC, when you're banging around and playing in these big games where the fouls, the refs start kind of chewing on that whistle a little bit too much, you need depth. You need guys that can come in and out, and I think Tennessee's got that. I've been very impressed with the down-low presence. Allie, what about you? 4 games in, what have you seen from those centers and forwards for Tennessee?
Well, yeah, I mean, just the depth is outstanding, and the ceiling for this group is so exciting, and they've done what they've needed to do against these less competitive opponents to start the season, so it really sets this group up for success when they get into these conference opponents, knowing that there's several guys that they can, go to and expect a lot from. Just very, very physical group, and they can get after it against anyone, really. Yeah,
Alex, what about you? I know you just kind of touched on it a little bit, but an opportunity to expand.
Well, totally, and it's been the front court has been the biggest positive for me thus far through these first 4 games, and I think the biggest thing is you're seeing the chemistry with a guy like Felix Okpara and Jacoby Gillespie on those lob plays, because that was something that Zakai Ziegler and Felix would try and do a whole lot last year, and it came up big at some points for Tennessee, and we've been seeing that a lot, whether it be Felix, Cade. It's really the lob play is something that Rick Barnes, if he has a point guard that can do it, has really taken advantage of, and really against anybody. They were even doing it in conference play, and so I think that's something that it can really get you some easy points. I think Jalen Carey's been really good on second chance points. He's really good with tipping it back in. So I mean, really all around, everybody has done something in their own way that I think has been a positive, and it's a good problem to have, having that many guys down there that can do a whole range of things.
Brett, what about you? Maybe this is a positive thing. That Tennessee's got a lot
It's got to be, Brett.
Some depth down in the front court. That's a positive.
We do. We do have some big guys. We'll see when they face somebody that's bigger than 6'6" and 6'7". But, I mean, it's good for right now. They're doing what they should do against lesser competition. They're dominating the glass. They're dominating down low. They're going to their strength. The strength of the team is the post, but I want to see it continue. Like you said, it's going to amp up starting next week. So that's when the money's really going to be made for these guys. And I mean, I'm tending to go back closer to the exhibition with some of these guys than I am what I've seen these first 4 games. And you're going to be playing teams like Duke, and you got physically beat up on the glass. So hopefully that's the bigger learning curve in all this, is playing a team like that, because Houston's going to beat you up, and that's where my focus is right now, not on who we played last night.
We'll check the YouTube chat real quick. JR Low 504 says, hopefully it leads to more easy baskets this year. Defense has never been the problem, and again, having all those guys down low, the opportunity to have tip-ins and have guys in position. And I get it. I know Rice and North Florida and Northern Kentucky don't have the type of size to match, but still just being really good around the rim in terms of the touch. Cade Phillips had a couple of last night where he kind of came in outside of the paint and was able to come in and have a couple of tip-ins and give second chance points opportunities. So I think that is key. Landon Kelly, we'll talk about your question after this segment. I will touch on that. Do have some information on it. But sticking with Tennessee basketball, Nate Ament concluded the night with his first collegiate double-double as he amassed 19 points and a career-high 10 rebounds, the latter mark leading all competitors. He added a career-best 3 steals in the decision as well. Senior guard Jacoby Gillespie totaled 17 points and a game-high 8 assists, the latter of which led all game. And the preseason second-team All-SEC designee, I should say, shot 6 of 12 from the floor, including a 3 of 6 mark from behind the arc. Ethan Berg, meanwhile, finished with a career-best 11 points in the victory. Highlighted him earlier. Thought he had his best showing in a Volunteers uniform. And out of these two, Nate Ament, Jacoby Gillespie, the guys that we all think are the best players on this team, or at least I think most people would assume that. What stood out to you from either of these guys? And for me, I'm going to talk about Gillespie because I thought Gillespie last night was in full control on both ends. Offensively, I thought he did a really good job chiseling inside of the paint, looking for his shot, but also looking for options, taking what the defense gave him. And he had a couple of really nice lob opportunities to Akpara where he was able to float it up, and obviously having that advantage in terms of the size up against a team like Rice, Akpara was able to plop it down. But just the vision and basketball IQ from Gillespie is something that was really big for Rick Barnes when Gillespie was one of the targets for Tennessee in the offseason. He needs a guy that plays with a smart IQ. That was Zakai Ziegler. Ziegler was a really good manager of the offense and getting Tennessee into their sets last year. Gillespie has done the same, but now he gives you a little bit of everything because he can get it done off the ball, get it done with the ball in his hands as a scorer, can get it done as a playmaker. I thought last night you started to see some really good sets for him off ball. His off ball movement was really good, and I anticipate that's going to be your main method of three-point scoring in the SEC. So that's why I like a guy like Troy Henderson out there. But again, not going back to that, Berg was good as well, but playing that off-ball role I think will be important in SEC play because Gillespie is your best shooter. He's got a great stroke. You saw that last night. Just it's got a nice high arc on it, and it's beautiful. I like it a lot. I feel like you're going to have to do that a lot in SEC play. But just the different facets of the game from Gillespie offensively and defensively, had a really impressive block and stays in passing lanes, is good at switching and communicating. This guy is an all-SEC level player. He showcased that last night. Out of Nate Ament and Jacoby Gillespie, Allie, what stood out to you the most last night?
Well, from Nate Ament, when he spoke with Mike Keith, he said that he learned everything from playing with his brother outside on the basketball court, and he didn't really know that he was anything special. He didn't know that it wasn't natural for someone his size to be able to move the way that he does. So now I think it's taking that natural talent and channeling it into what the team needs. And he said that he joined Tennessee because he knew it would challenge him to take on different roles. And so he's really figured that out, I think. And he's grown from game to game and kind of doing, what's best for the team. So that's what I've noticed from him. And then in terms of Jacoby Gillespie, I like how you put it. He's a manager of the offense. Any Rick Barnes point guard is going to be a leader of this group, and so I think you can see him kind of step into that spot and get a little bit more comfortable as each game goes on. So learning that leadership quality has stuck out for Jacoby.
Brett, what about you? Ament and Gillespie, who was the guy that stood out to you the most last night?
Gillespie for sure. I thought that was, like you said, the best performance. Ament, it's his first double-double, I think, or maybe second.
Correct.
So he was good, but Gillespie, as you said, that seemed like the best. He had the offense going with the pick and roll, and the movement, the screens, everything was just good about the offense. It's just better flow, especially in that second half. And he was kind of the key guy to get it rolling there for your second half. So I'll say Gillespie because he's the guy that runs the ship. So if he's going, you're going to win a lot of basketball games this year.
Alex, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with all you guys on Gillespie. And Rick Barnes said the same. He thought Gillespie played his best half of basketball in that second half. So, that's the big thing. I think Jacoby Gillespie can be a better overall player than Zakai Ziegler. Straight up.
Yeah.
He's got the scoring element. We would see Zakai at points last year, wouldn't have a point going into the second half. So, he introduces that scoring, and then my biggest thing, of course, last night though was those 8 assists. We haven't seen that out of him yet this year, and we know he can do it. But that is just huge. Whether it be kicking it to Ethan Berg, who started 3 for 3 from distance last night, that's going to be big, as you mentioned, William, heading into SEC play because teams are going to start. They know what Gillespie can do. They're going to start cracking down on him, and you saw it a little bit last night. I thought Rice played pretty physical, and it was probably the most physical game that Tennessee played since Duke. So, we're going to start seeing doubles come for Gillespie, all the things that come with being an elite point guard. So, but no, his all-SEC status, it's looking good right now. And if he can keep those assists rolling, though, that's the Tennessee offense that's going to get them to places where I think they haven't been before.
Couple more numbers real quick as we round out our takeaways. Senior guard / forward Nick Anderson scored 19 points to pace the Owls, while freshman guard Cam Carroll had 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting. I was actually really impressed with Carroll. This is a guy that was in high school last year, was a newcomer for this Rice team. He played with no fear. I was impressed with him. And then senior guard Jalen Smith added in 10 points. But Tennessee, as I mentioned earlier, held the Owls' leading scorer in graduate guard Trey Broadnax, to just 5 points and without a made field goal, as he missed all 16 of his attempts from the floor, 8 of which came from behind the arc. The Volunteers became the first team to hold an opposing player without a made field goal on 16-plus attempts since March 8th, 2022, and just the fourth to do so in the last 20 seasons. Embarrassing for Broadnax, but impressive for Tennessee. The Victors turned in a dominant performance down low, amassing a 52-16 edge in paint points. We talked about how good that front court is for Tennessee. Numbers like that emphasize it. Had a 22-8 margin in second chance points. Also had a 47-31 advantage on the glass and pulled down 18 offensive rebounds. Tennessee also shot 52.3% for the night. And the Vols will round out this 5-game homestand with Tennessee State on Thursday. A quick 2-game week this week for the Volunteers before they travel to Las Vegas to roll the dice in the tournament, where they'll take on Rutgers and Houston. But real quick, do want to point out J.P. Estrella departed the game with 1:26 left in the first half due to a leg injury. Did not return. Seems to be in hyperextension. Barnes talked about it after the game, said it seemed to be cautionary, but he would learn more today. Have not heard any updates as of this moment. Sent out some texts this morning, so I'll see if I get anything back before we go off the air today. But a little bit concerned about JP. I think he's been your best offensive touch guy in terms of back to the basket, go make a play. And you do have a lot of depth, and that's great. But I do like the offensive initiative that Estrella can take when he's on the block. I don't think you have another guy that can do it at that type of level. So that's my concern about JP. But he's been off to a great start this season, career highs in both rebounds and points. Hope that he is okay. And the fact that he came back to the bench, though, tells me it should be fine, but he was pretty iced up. So, and I'm not talking about jewelry. He was talking about the iced up on the knees. But, again, we'll learn more hopefully later today, maybe while we're on the air. When we come back, we'll switch over to Tennessee and Florida. Aaron Childs, the linebacker for the Gators, is making it personal this week. We'll tell you what he had to say and how he anticipates Saturday's matchup against the Volunteers going. We'll break it down when we return right here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
The following radio theater is brought to you by Men's Pro Knoxville.
Hey, Dad, you want to play football?
Oh, no, buddy.
All right.
Pops, want to work out?
Maybe later.
Hey, kids are in bed. What you up to?
Tomorrow? You've got one life, and it's too short for not nows, maybe laters, and tomorrows. If you have ED and performance issues, your family, friends, and even your career has already been affected. Book your discreet evaluation at Men's Pro Knoxville and turn your tomorrows into today.
Yes! Touchdown!
Come on, one more, Dad.
Today!
Push, Dad. One more. Come on, push.
Hey, kids are in bed. What you up to?
Tonight. Call 865-544-8220 or book now in under 30 seconds at menspronknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, for every man in every season of life.
Hey Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Got a flat tire? Strange noise under the hood? Don't stress. Roll into Matlock Tire and Auto Service. From oil changes and brake repairs to brand new tires, Matlock's certified techs do it all. Fast, friendly, and fair priced, Matlock is the home of the price match guarantee. Bring in any competitor's ad and Matlock will match the exact same tire for the exact same price. Matlock Tire and Auto Service. 5 locations in East Tennessee. Visit matlocktireservice.com to find the location nearest you and schedule your appointment.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
All right, back here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play. We appreciate you listening along with us, whether it be on that free Fan Run Radio app, 105.7 FM or 1340 AM here in K-Town on the local dial. However you're listening or watching, we do appreciate your time. Okay, let's switch over to Tennessee and Florida. You know, we did all that talk about Boo Carter yesterday. We didn't really get to touch on this week's matchup. And after slugging through Tennessee and New Mexico State all last week, we owe it to ourselves to talk about this one, as Tennessee and Florida is one of the best rivalries in the SEC. I still think it is one of the best rivalries for Tennessee, period. I'd go Tennessee, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida 1 and 2 in my eyes. But I know Brett has Tennessee, Kentucky at 1.
Yeah.
Making things personal is the theme this week for Florida. Florida linebacker Aaron Childs says that the Gators are making this week's game against Tennessee, quote, personal, and calls for the Gators to beat the Vols. This is what he had to say. Quote, "We're willing to make it personal, it being a rivalry game," said Childs on Monday. That's the standard going into this week. I'm looking forward to staying to that standard and making it 11 straight. Now, what he's referring to in the 11 straight is 11 straight wins against the Volunteers in the Swamp when that game is played in Gainesville, as number 23 Tennessee travels to Florida on Saturday with kickoff scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. What do you guys make of this early week trash talk? It's always a part of it. I feel like in all of the games this year, there's been a little bit of some chatter. Against Arkansas, I thought it was notable that one of their running backs, Mike Washington, came out and said that the Tennessee's defense is good, but has a whole lot of holes, kind of like shaking someone's hand, but spinning it right before. And then against Alabama, it was Jeremy Bernard saying that man-to-man coverage was a field of dreams. And while those both might not have been wrong, it still does spark conversation in the locker room. And I honestly think Childs saying this is good. It's a good thing. This is why. Right now, if you go type in Tennessee football, what's the first thing that pops up? Probably Boo Carter.
Boo Carter, yeah.
This right here gives that locker room something else to think about. This is now, okay, what happened on Saturday, Sunday, this past year, whatever it was, he's gone, he's out. We got another guy on the other team saying that they're going to make it personal this week, and they're going to make it 11 straight. You've got a guy on a, 3-7 Florida team, 4-6 Florida team saying that they're going to make it personal this week. That should motivate Tennessee. That should motivate this defense. That should motivate this locker room. So I think it's a good thing that Aaron Childs has come out and said this, because now it's not, Boo Carter. It's that guy we're about to line up against on Saturday had something to say. Let's do something about it this week. Josh Heupel talked about it on Saturday after the game, saying that the attention to detail in practice wasn't up to standard last week heading into New Mexico State. I hope that doesn't continue this week. It shouldn't. And if there's any extra motivation needed, Aaron Childs has provided it for you. And I think Childs is a good player. Don't get me wrong. I think Florida's got a very talented group. Now, they haven't put it together, and they are all over the place, and you never know what version of them you're going to get, and that varies play by play. One play, they'll look like a team that could compete with anyone in the country. The other, they look like, Kent State or UMass. So I think this is good because it's going to focus this group up and have their sights set on some bulletin board material, something in their head throughout the week, so they pay attention a little bit better. There shouldn't be any extra motivation for this game, by the way. But if there was any needed, Childs provided some. Allie, what do you make of the early week trash talk from the Gators linebacker?
Well, this game is always going to be personal. I mean, this matchup between these two teams is always aggressive no matter what the record is. Even though they're 3-7 right now, anything can happen, and this group needs a win. Looking at Florida here, they've lost 4 of their last 5 games, and coming off of that Ole Miss game this weekend, I'm sure you guys talked about it yesterday, but did I say win? I meant game.
You said game. Yeah.
This Ole Miss game last weekend, it was competitive. They held it really close, and that's a really strong Ole Miss team. They went to Ole Miss, and they held their own for most of the game. So I think that they're going to want to finish the job this weekend. So I totally understand where he's coming from, and I think this is a great thing for Tennessee to hear and talk about in their locker room and use as, bulletin board material to keep them motivated.
Brett, what about you? What do you make of this early week trash talk from Florida?
I love it. I don't think he said anything wrong. He's trying to fire up his team, too, just as much as he's firing up our team. You want this in a rivalry game. You don't want to be the team that the streak ends against either. It's Florida football. When it comes to Florida football, your job is to beat Tennessee at home, and they've done a good job of that 11 straight times. It's awesome. I love it, and you shouldn't need this trash talk to be motivated in this game. Unfortunately, the rivalry's coming to an end next year, so it's last time for a couple years, and so I think both teams hopefully are motivated, and we see some good football because it's been sloppy from these two teams most of the season. So, I'm fired up for it as well. I love the comments personally.
Alex, what about you?
Yeah, I love it too. It's what college football is all about, and it makes it all that much worse that this game's going to go away for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And especially, in terms of playing in the swamp, it's going to be even longer.
Years.
So, it's who wants those bragging rights when it comes down to it. And, I would agree with you, William. I think this is Tennessee's second best rivalry for sure. And Urban Meyer's going to be in the building for Florida. There's going to be a lot of extracurricular stuff going on around this game. And for Tennessee, this is the game that decides what the rest of your season looks like. Do you want to, go down to a team and make it 12 in a row, or do you want to, start turning things around for a season that some view as a disappointment? So, it's an attitude thing more so for me. And and I think Tennessee fans know what version of Florida is going to show up. We've seen the good version of Florida that has played some of the best teams in the country as close as they can. Tennessee fans know that the good version of Florida is going to show up on Saturday. Yep. You got a night game in the swamp, and it's set up to be a classic Tennessee-Florida matchup. What else could you want?
Yeah, and you talk about how close these games have been really just any time Tennessee and Florida match up on the field. Doesn't matter if Tennessee has Hendon Hooker at quarterback and a 2022 team that was one of the best in the country. that Anthony Richardson-led group that had a couple of losses early in the season came in and gave you a fight. You've had some pretty bad Florida teams come in and win games. I go back to 2013 when little old Trayon Harris was running around making plays in a 10-9 win for the Gators in Neyland Stadium. This game always brings the best out of each side. And when you have talented groups for both teams, Florida is most definitely talented this season. I think they've got one of the most talented rosters per se in terms of 5-star, 4-star blue chip ratio in the SEC. Now, they haven't put it together, and that's on coaching. But this is a very talented group, and you put them in a game like this, you're going to get the best of them. And I think you saw that on Saturday, as Allie mentioned, as the Gators traveled to Oxford and led that game for most of it, at least into that second half, and got a couple of key stops. But everyone knows this is going to be a close one, right? Vegas does too. We look at the line movement. Tennessee opened as a 5.5-point favorite early last week. It was on Thursday. And then after the game time, it was announced on Saturday night, and it was late Saturday night. It really could have been Sunday morning. Yeah. It moved to 3.5. Now we're back to 4.5. And that shows you that this is going to be an interesting one. I believe Texas was a 5.5-point favorite on the road against the Gators earlier this year. So in terms of a situational spot, kind of the same thing for the Longhorns when they traveled into Gainesville, and we know who won that game. So right now, what's your vibe with this game? I feel like Saturday was bleak. I feel like Saturday was uninspiring. It was sleepwalking. I hope there's not any of that this week. And Heupel, again, as I mentioned earlier, talked about last week's attention of detail not necessarily being there. I hope that's not the case this week. I think you're going to have a couple of guys banged up from that game on Saturday. You're going to have to look at that injury report and see what new faces are going to have to pop in, who's going to have to step up. But there should be no lack of attention to detail this week as you prepare for Florida and Vanderbilt to end out your season. There's a big difference between 7-5 and 9-3. 7-5 is, man, is this program going in the right direction? 9-3 is, we had a transfer quarterback come in. We had a ton of stuff happen off the field. You were able to still win 9 games and have an opportunity to go win 10 in a bowl game. That's a positive, and that's momentum. You lose 3 out of your last 4 and 4 out of your last 5.
Not be a good
or
team.
I guess 4 out of your last 6, I should say. You're having a different conversation. Yeah. So my vibe right now is Tennessee needs to be awoken. They need to be woken up for this one. And Saturday cannot be a game where you just hope to just be the better team on the field. Florida's been bipolar this year in terms of their performances, but they're immensely talented, and they'll step up in a game like this. Allie, your vibe right now for this matchup.
I hate to be like Brett here, but not entirely confident. Seeing how Florida played against Ole Miss this past weekend was upsetting, a little stressful, and then seeing how Tennessee didn't have that extremely dominant, very motivating win this past weekend that Tennessee fans were looking for. We had Joey on the field through the third quarter, and some defensive starters on the field in the fourth quarter against a team that we should have been curb stomping. So definitely not a great start to the week, but hopefully those practices, they've got a lot of juice in them to be motivated, because from Tennessee fan perspective, it's not too terribly exciting.
Curb stomping. I like that term. Brett, your vibe for this week.
Not great, William. Not great at all.
No way.
Yeah. I will say, though, the last time we did win down there, it was this time of year. So there's
true.
A positive spin from me. But that's as far as I'll go. Not too good. Past couple of performances have not been very good. Which Florida's going to show up? One that played Kentucky or the one that played Ole Miss, and Georgia tough. I'm expecting that one. And it's just never a positive vibe when you're going to the Swamp at all. I think we're about the same spread as we were in 23 when we went down there, if not mistaken, or around that number. So you've been favorites the last couple of times down there now. So, but that seems to not matter. Throw all these numbers out the window when these two teams get together, and I'm not very confident going into this one, and I'm not confident the way this season's going to end.
believe Tennessee was a 2.5-point favorite.
So pretty close, yeah. I know we're a favorite, right?
We were a favorite. I don't ask me why I know
I was
that.
about to say that, yeah.
And some people sat in the stands and even
Well, they had
doubled down.
lost to Utah going into that one. Looked terrible,
Correct.
I forgot who we played to start that season, but yeah.
They had we went to Virginia to begin the year.
Or Nashville, yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah, played Virginia.
Virginia to begin the year, and that very ugly, horrible stadium in Nashville. But anyway. But yes, it was a similar spread. That stadium, that
it is bad.
It's horrible.
They're building a new one.
Worst venue I've ever been to in my life.
I'll probably agree with that. Actually,
I'm dead serious.
It's horrible.
Wow.
Blake Gregory, real quick.
San Francisco went for you.
Well, people in Nashville know that stadium sucks.
I know.
I'll be there in 2 weeks though.
Yeah.
Duval. Blake Gregory goes, were you guys even alive the last time we beat Florida in the Swamp? To put into perspective, last time we did, I was 2 years old. Now I have a 2-year-old. LOL.
Oh, my gosh.
I was technically, I would have been just turning 1. So I was born
you remember it very well.
Born in 2002. Don't remember it very well yet. I mean, honestly, though, I've got a ton of memories and lore from growing up watching certain games. Like I still remember specific games growing up, but I would have been 1 year old. So
just the way we've lost down there is just crazy. I mean, just all those games in the last 11.
Yeah. Alex, what about you? Your vibe right now?
Yeah, I think any Tennessee fan that tells you that they're positively going into this one is lying. I mean, you have to look at the way the team played on Saturday. Joey Aguilar has to stop turning the ball over. And I think that's one of the things. I mean, what happened in 23, turnovers really were one of the reasons that Tennessee lost that game when Joe Milton had that one big turnover when he got hit. So Joey Aguilar's going to have to take care of the football, and that's something that's really, we've seen – maybe the version of and we've seen the version of Joey Aguilar that people were scared of. I think when he came in over the offseason. So that's got to be cleaned up. I think defense is getting better. I think Jaden Perlotti has looked good, and some other the young guys on the defense. But DJ Lagway and that Florida offense, kind of like any offense, can get after Tennessee like a lot of teams have done this year. So. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's going to have to play one of their better games of the season, and it comes down to that, So if they don't do that, they're in big trouble.
All right, when we come back, we will look at our best bets look ahead for Friday as we look to lock in our slate for Week 13. We'll also talk Boo Carter in hour number 2, what his side of the story is of what went down between him and the Volunteers. Stay right here. It's the Playbook presented by VIP Play on a Tuesday.
Catch up with all things Fan Run by subscribing to our podcast feed. Like, rate, and download the show from the Fan Run app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Your smile says it all, so make sure it's saying the right thing. At Knoxville Smiles, we believe healthy teeth mean happy lives. Whether it's a routine cleaning, whitening for that big event, or fixing a nagging toothache, our gentle team is here for you. With flexible hours, family-friendly care, and the latest technology, Knoxville Smiles makes every visit stress-free. Don't wait another day to love your smile. Call Knoxville Smiles today at 865-539-1776 or book online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Rickard Ridge Barbecue, located in beautiful Cove Lake State Park. Rickard Ridge is home of the best ribs in the Volunteer State. Smoked daily by Pitmaster Mark Rickard. The barbecue at Rickard Ridge is mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone delicious. Take the scenic drive up I-75 to exit 134. For directions and to look at the rest of the menu, visit Rickard Ridge online at rickardridgebbq.com.
Hi, this is Bo Kregner from the Kregner Group at Realty Executives, and I know there's a lot of choices here in East Tennessee when it comes to choosing a realtor. Here's why the Kregner Group is different. At the Kregner Group, our motto is walking by faith, serving others. It's how I live my life. It's how I run my business. Here at the Kregner Group, we're committed to doing real estate the right way. Faith, honesty, integrity. The Kregner Group. Call me anytime at 865-742-1035 or visit my website at boknowshouses.com.
Hey folks, if you're in need of a lawyer, you need to call my friend Jerry Givens. I've known Jerry since high school and can personally vouch for him. He's East Tennessee through and through, and if you're going through a divorce, bankruptcy, or a DUI case, you'll need someone you can trust on your side to help you navigate the local legal system. You can trust Jerry Givens. Call the law offices of Jerry Givens today at 865-801-9250 to schedule your free consultation. That's 801-9250.
Right, back here on the Playbook presented by VIP Play. Now time for our best bets look ahead presented by VIP Play. College football fans, the season might be rounding out, but your opportunities to bet on the VIP Play app are not, because we've still got so much action left to go. College football regular season wrapping up, but bowl season, the playoffs, so much to continue to get into. And do so on the VIP Play app. When you bet $20, you'll get $100 instantly in bonus bets by using the code FANRUN. That's FANRUN in all caps to claim those bonus bets. New and more improved withdrawal and deposit methods have been added in, so now the app is seamless as ever. If you're a sports fan, you need to get the VIP Play app. Use that code FANRUN to get $100 instantly in bonus bets. Hey, Grizz play on NBC tonight, so if you want to get on the NBA too.
They didn't flex that?
They did. They flexed it to that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so get flexed on, Brett.
Oh, man.
I
thought that would have been okay.
Yep,
I saw that going differently in my mind when I said it.
Yeah, it did not go well for you.
Yeah, no, I got
real quick, we'll read a couple of chats real quick. I don't love this slate. I will say maybe I'll find a better love for it throughout the week. Landon Kelly had asked about Sam Levitt earlier. I told him I would answer it. Here you go, Landon. Sam Levitt, quarterback for Arizona State, one of my favorite quarterbacks heading into this past season, is doubtful to return to the Sun Devils next year. That's what On3 is reporting. My understanding is that he doesn't know what he wants to do yet. He's fielding interest from other teams, and there's a possibility he leaves. But if Arizona State pays up, he would stay. That's what I understand with it. But he's going to be in the range of $3 to $4 million. I don't think Tennessee's going to entertain that. Let's be real here, folks. George McIntyre's on this team. Faison Brandon's coming in. You're not allocating $4 million to go get a guy that is very, very good. I love Sam Levitt. He's like white Lamar Jackson sometimes with all the moves that he makes. But you're not paying him $3 to $4 million when you've got a lot of other things on this roster that need fixing.
Tristan Keys, too.
Yeah, Tristan Keys, another guy. Like, you're having to allocate money elsewhere. And I love Levitt, but I would not anticipate at all him being a member of this team. That's just my take right now. And I haven't been told anything otherwise of Levitt having interest. But he is still at Arizona State. My point of view of that coming out today from On3 is that Levitt's camp is trying to leverage Arizona State.
Somebody will pay him, that's for sure.
Someone will pay him.
Yeah.
But I don't think On3 was completely accurate in putting that out there, saying that he's doubtful to return and basically that he's leaving, because he's not done that yet. He's fielding interest. He's thinking about it. So, tough day for On3, because Lane Kiffin got on Pat McAfee and said that the ultimatum thing was incorrect. But from what I heard as well, there was an ultimatum. But whatever.
Yeah,
I think Kiffin was.
He's never going to say there is.
Kiffin was dismissing the ultimatum part to it, but Keith Carter, athletic director for Ole Miss, did say we need to kind of figure out what we're going to do here.
They need to
and as they should.
Moves. Yeah.
As they should. Lane will pay him and dominate. And I'm sure
somebody's going to pay him. Yeah.
I think Levitt's really, really good. But I think there's a sliver of hope you could possibly get number 6 back. And there's also there's a ton of that $4 million.
You need to fix other areas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brett and I see eye to eye on that. There we go.
Yeah, we see
No
it.
way.
The other side of the ball needs help
Yeah.
before the quarterback.
Yeah. Real quick, this weekend, I like Oklahoma 7.5 against Missouri. I'm sure that will be pretty public, so we'll see those public splits on Friday and Saturday. Oregon -10 right now against USC. That's a ranked versus ranked matchup, top 25 team, favorite of 3 points or more at home. I'd lean Oregon at the moment. Georgia Tech and Cincinnati are Georgia Tech's playing Pitt at home. By the way, that's what I needed to talk about.
I warned him. That's what you wanted to mention.
Notre Dame and Pitt.
I'll take it on the chin.
Yeah, Notre Dame and Pitt. That was pretty fun. Notre Dame's just too damn good, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Pitt, I mean,
Heinz will struggle.
Yeah, that was the thing. Just early.
He
That
looked
pick
over
six.
it.
That
He
pick
was over
six
his
just
skis
killed
is
him.
what we said
Yeah, he took
yesterday.
my saying
and
out
Notre
of
Dame
me.
was getting to him. It was just,
Jeremiah Lowe's good.
But I don't doubt that. Pitt's still got a chance here. So
yeah.
I can mess up other
Well,
people.
according to their coach, they didn't need to win that game. So.
That is true.
I thought game day was fantastic, though.
Yeah,
if
game
anybody
day was
watched
cool.
Game day. It was awesome.
Well, we'll continue talking college football on the other side. Boo Carter also tells his side of the story in an exclusive interview with Football Scoops, John McBride. We'll talk about it when we return right here on The Playbook, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
Follow us on Twitter or X or whatever the they're calling it these days at Fox Sports Knox. Fox Sports Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Today, we raise a glass of Jameson Irish whiskey to the sport of football. Hear, hear!
To Gaelic football, born in Ireland in 1885 in its thrilling blend of soccer, rugby and basketball. On a massive field, 15 players kick or hand pass a round ball that scored points over a bar or into a net. No pads, no helmet, no sense.
Hear, hear!
To college football, which kicked off in 1869 when Rutgers beat Princeton 6-4 in the Battle of New Jersey. With 11 players and helmets and pads, teams battle on a 100-yard gridiron with explosive pass plays and hard-hitting tackles. Unless you're called for targeting.
Hear, hear! Since 1780, Jameson Irish whiskey has been enjoyed by sports fans all around the globe. Whether your football is Gaelic, American, or even soccer, we can all agree on super smooth Jameson Irish whiskey. Hear, hear!
Are you tired of waiting on interest rates to drop before you start saving money? I'm Chris Burleson with University Lending Group, and I've got a better way. With a traditional closed-end mortgage, most of your payment goes straight to interest, not your balance. But with my Smart Loan, every deposit you make cuts your principal immediately and reduces interest in real time. On average, my clients pay off their mortgage in just 7 years. Call me today at 865-388-7634 or visit smartloantn.com and let's turn your income into financial freedom. NMLS number 332-941.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess, but isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
Here we go. Hour number 2 on a Tuesday, live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. It's the Playbook presented by VIP Play. Allie Campbell, Brett Hullander, and Alex Sarkis joining you. I'm William Pattison. Great stuff in hour number 1. We'll continue it here in hour number 2 as we talk about Boo Carter and what he had to say about moving on from Tennessee. We'll also have our NFL Week 11 takeaways and also talk a little coaching carousel. James Franklin's found a new home. Lane Kiffin has more pictures of him on the internet than any other person I know right now. Whether he's in a plane or in the parking lot, Lane is on camera. And he was on camera today with Pat McAfee as well. So we'll talk about Lane Kiffin, the former Tennessee football coach that is now the talk of the town in the college football world. I know we had to cut to a break real quick. Alex, wanted to let you finish your thought on Notre Dame and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I just thought Mason Heinschel looked like a true freshman. And, that's something that I think, is going to come with being in that spot, especially in your first big game, especially at home. You got game day. You got all of the theatrics surrounding it. But, yeah, I mean, I struggled with Pitt and Georgia Tech this weekend. I kind of got off the Pitt bandwagon based on what I saw on Saturday with Pitt. But I don't know. I mean, since the line is so small, that game, that's really a toss-up.
Yeah.
And just it being on the road at Bobby Dodd. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond and how Mason responds from that. But, I think if they play that game 10 times, Notre Dame probably wins 7 of them. So I was banking on Pitt digging into one of those games where they could, have to play their best game of the season to win it. And I thought they might. But, that they didn't, and that's football, and I'll take it on the chin. But, they still have, as Pat Narduzzi said, they still have plenty to play for.
They do. I mean, they've got
so that's the thing, is how they're going to respond now. So it's going to be interesting to watch. That's one of the more intriguing games of the weekend.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm just giving you a hard time, by the way.
Oh, totally.
Totally.
Hey, I respect it. That's this business, man. I love it.
Yeah. I had Duke on Saturday, and Duke ended up getting creamed.
Yeah.
Many times we give them heck about Auburn and BYU and
BYU. I hate. I can't stand.
Yeah,
BYU.
They're weird to me too, because I feel like Bachmeier is a guy who just doesn't. He's not your prototypical quarterback, especially at BYU. So. That's an interesting team, too, because they got a big one. They go to Cincinnati this weekend, so they're on the road.
But Cincinnati just got upset this past weekend at home against Arizona. Arizona's a good team.
Yeah, but does Cincinnati lose 2 in a row? I don't know. We'll see at home.
I know.
It's interesting.
BYU,
the Big 12 picture is going to get – I think it could get good.
BYU in the last 2 years, I think I am 2 and 7 picking them ATS. I don't know how – I don't know how Vegas puts that out there every week and just lets idiots and squares continue to cash on them. Remember last year they were pick 'em against Central Florida on a neutral site field. Central Florida was horrible last year. I was all in on Central Florida. I was like, all right, book's telling you, please take BYU. BYU
smashed them.
Beat them by 24.
Yeah.
All right. We will not have that problem on Friday when we do our best bets for the weekend, though. I'll probably fade BYU again, though.
2.5 favorite right now.
Yeah, well, hey, at some point, the well has got to run out of water. And I feel like I don't know.
This was about the time last year they started to fall apart, too.
I know. Well, so here's the thing.
Here we go.
It was this time last year they played Kansas, and I finally took the bait. I finally took BYU. And it was after
Jalen
Tennessee.
Daniels got you.
Same night as Tennessee and Georgia played. I hiked back after watching that game in the freezing cold and found a house, found the game, and Kansas blew it. And Kansas had started playing really good football. I think, Kansas had beat them. Kansas beat them. They upset them.
Yeah.
Kansas was playing really good football.
Then Kansas beat Colorado, I think,
right
after that,
Yeah,
too.
they did. And that was in Kansas City. And BYU looked like they had never played football before.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, Cincinnati, Brendan Sorsby, please. Anyway, all right. Let's get to Boo Carter. I know I said yesterday we wouldn't talk about this anymore, but after we went off the air, an exclusive interview with Football Scoop and John Bryce. I said John McBride earlier. I went to high school with that guy. John Bryce.
Shout out.
I had an exclusive interview. We'll tell you what he said. So former Tennessee defensive back Boo Carter, obviously No longer with this football team. A very tumultuous offseason. Began in the summer, not showing up to team activities, had some stuff off the field going on. Heupel gives the guy a chance. A lot of guys in the locker room said no. Heupel said this is too talented of a player. We've got to keep him on the team. And I still agree with the decision. Got to give a guy a second chance when he's that talented. And regardless of if he's talented, everyone deserves a second chance. We make mistakes. There's an opportunity to make up for it. But with Boo, he might have done what he was supposed to in the offseason to get back in good standing. But over the course of the year, we continue to see inconsistencies in his effort. And it turned into a guy that wasn't even in the rotation anymore. And Saturday, he didn't show up. He says it's an injury. And now it's kind of like a he said, she said type of thing. Heupel was asked about it yesterday in the press conference. He looked mad as a hornet. When asked why he hasn't been on the SEC injury report, he said, no, sir. It was 5 seconds of blank silence, and then at least not to our trainers. He was upset about it. You can tell he's angered by it. And then Boo Carter put out in his tweet the other day that I read off yesterday that he enjoyed his 2 years at Tennessee. He's grateful for the coaches. Very, Chat GPT-esque, but it looked like he typed it out because some words were capitalized, some weren't, so I'll give him credit for that. And then he said that he suffered an injury and his season is over, and that's why he's entering the portal. He echoes the same in this exclusive interview. Quote, it was a great time at Tennessee, 2 years, but the season ended short for me. I'll just say goodbye from that point on, Carter told John Bryce of Football Scoop. Quote, like to me, I'm confused. I don't really know what's going on about dismissed or the extra stuff he said in the media with me in the locker room of following the rules or standard. Quote, I've been doing everything I could. I told him I was hurt. He wanted me to play hurt throughout this whole season, Carter continued. I don't know how he's putting it is making it sound like the stuff that happened in fall camp still. Carter was an SEC all-freshman team member in 2024. As I mentioned earlier, did not show up to Saturday's game against New Mexico State, prompting the Vols and Carter to split. As I talked about yesterday, though, it seems as if Carter kind of pulled a Nico and just got up and left and didn't really say much else after. But Heupel says that he was not there Saturday because he didn't uphold a standard. So I don't know who to believe there. What I've been told is Carter just kind of got up and left. So I really think it's just Carter kind of getting up and saying, I'm gone. Heupel can phrase it as he was kicked off the team or removed from the team. But it seems as if Boo Carter just said, I'm out. What I make of Boo's side to this is that he's trying to play a little bit of image critiquing, and he's a guy that's about to go in the portal. It's not going to be good for him to have former coaches or teams looking at him and having the label of the guy got kicked off the team. By saying I was injured and I left the team because I'm out for the season, I can't play again, it's a different verbiage there. It's a different viewpoint from afar if they're not here in Knoxville covering it. So I think there's some image cleanup that he's doing with this. But then I don't buy the injury part to this, saying that he has to play through. And this is why. David Sanders, a guy that everyone wanted to see play at the beginning of the season, was nicked up in practice heading into that Syracuse game and did not play. And we didn't see him for the first 4 or 5 games of the season. And that's a 5-star offensive lineman that you needed. And Heupel and the training staff did not let him play.
The trainer said Boo wasn't hurt, too. That's what Heupel said yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but yes. I agree.
I mean, they were telling him Sanders can't play. Like, Sanders wanted to play.
Exactly. So that's why I don't buy this.
No.
But then I go on Facebook and I see a person by the name of Boo Mama 6 has literally posted the medical document of Boo. And it says in there that he is hurt. But I don't know the validity of that, but I just think if he were actually hurt, then he wouldn't have been practicing last week. And even if he would have hurt, he wouldn't have been playing against Oklahoma. If this happened a while ago, it didn't look like he was banged up by any means. Now, obviously, you can't, from the from the sideline or from, the stands or watching on TV, you can't tell if someone's hurting. No one can tell unless you're in their body. But it didn't look like he was hurt. And if he were hurt, I don't feel like it would have been that big of a deal for him to be ruled out of a game because of injury. And he was never on the SEC injury report. And Heupel is mandated by the conference to put the players that are hurt on there. And if you don't, there's a penalty that comes with it. So I don't think Heupel was trying to hide that Boo Carter was hurt either. Like, there's a difference between being hurt and like sore or,
everybody's hurting.
Everyone's hurt. It's football, contact sport. Carter wasn't making much contact with people over the last couple of games he played.
Yep.
But it's still, in practice, it's a lot going on. But what I make of Boo's side is it's image cleanup. It's image critiquing, trying to get out the right narrative, trying to get ahead of a story or trying to form the story on your own. And there are going to be two sides to every story. But the way I look at it, I've already seen multiple players that have missed a ton of time this year due to injury, and they haven't been forced to come back. Jeremiah McCoy is going to be a first-round pick. I think everyone on this staff would be itching to have him back on the team and have him playing. But they have continued to tell him no, and the training staff has as well. So that's not adding up. I think it's image cleanup. And at the end of the day, hopefully this is the last time we have to talk about it. Allie, what do you make of Boo Carter and his statement?
Well, there's a lot of sources that have said that Boo has an attitude issue and that Boo, did create problems, especially in the preseason, but that was just a consistent thing that you've heard from a lot of different people on the inside of the situation. And Boo is the only one to bring this injury side of things to light. So I think it's a lot of people versus one person. And so I'm not inclined to believe Boo on this. I do think that it comes at an interesting time that he would say that this is the situation. I don't know. Yeah, it definitely seems like he's trying to clean it up. It's frustrating, especially for Heupel, I can only imagine, because, he's trying to paint Heupel in a bad light then as well. But, I mean, at least he's gone now, so.
Brett, what about you?
You heard my 2 cents yesterday. I think he's full of what. But, this is this makes it look worse. You're basically calling Heupel a liar. I just wish he'd come out and say, I played like dog what all season. And, it's just I don't know. The statement made it worse for me, honestly. I don't need to rehash what I said yesterday, and I don't know. This almost paints him in a worse light than he was originally. So this is a tough look for me and him. So, Alex,
you're a reporter. If a guy like Carter had told you this, what would you make of it?
Yeah, well, I think it was inevitable that Boo Carter would enter the transfer portal anyway. I mean,
correct.
That's kind of something that we all expected. And so, now it's gotten to a point where, we're attacking people's character, and that's not what you want. It's you don't want to get to that point. So, I think it's unfortunate for both sides, that it's kind of went down this road. Obviously we will never know what Boo Carter's, intentions were heading into, is this how he wanted this to happen, being before the season ends? I don't know. And that's up for people to speculate on. But, the short of it is I think it's gone down a road that it's unfortunate. And, now Heupel's had to talk about it 2 days. He talked about it after the game, and he said, it sounded like he was done with it then. And then yesterday too, didn't want to give away much. Obviously, he just wants to move on and play football. But, yeah, I mean, the injury thing and we all know he trusts his staff. And like you said with David Sanders, that I don't think that just doesn't happen in the SEC where you would lie about something like that. So it's interesting, but I can't say I'm surprised. And, I think it's important, for both sides to just move on now. And Tennessee thinks, that they're better off, going their separate ways.
I'm also sitting here just pondering the legality of being able to post medical records on Facebook.
Yeah, it's an interesting tactic.
I was just trying to find her on Facebook. I can't find her now on Facebook.
Well,
it's like she's disappeared.
Well, I know she's private on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I was just seeing if she's updated anything else after that, but I haven't seen her.
Unless
I'm missing her.
She had a lot to say. And I hate having to bring like a player's mother or family into it,
yeah.
But like
we brought Nick into it, with Nico.
But my thing is when you bring yourself into the situation, that's when you become a part of it, right? Like, Jemai Mashak's mother was, all over Twitter, always talking, but it's positive. It's not, like
the baseball players.
It's not an issue.
You can be very positive. Yeah.
Multiple times at a lot of these baseball games that we'd be sitting outside, and I talked to who was it? It was
you said Inslee or no?
Yeah, Hunter Inslee. Yeah, no, not Hunter Inslee. It was
Stark.
No, not shortstop.
Yeah, we can name the roster if you
Dean
want.
Curley. Dean Curley.
Dean
Curley.
Good guess.
Yeah,
Did you just guess that?
No, he played shortstop.
Yeah, I said shortstop.
Oh, you said shortstop?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Dean
know that
Curley. I talked to Dean Curley's mom for probably 45 minutes heading into the regionals this year. But, like, that's...
Yeah.
What I'm saying by that is, she's not online causing a rift, causing a problem. Jemai Mashak's mom wasn't doing that. All these Vol parents are not doing that. But when you become a part of the problem, that is when you get mentioned. And that is when you now have to be brought up. And when you're out on Facebook typing away, like, people are going to see it. She says that she is never going to eat an orange again, is going to burn all of her orange.
Oh, I did see, yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
is changing her background screens
The exorcism.
to black.
It's an exorcism. That's what that is.
Wow. But it's like, people are going to see this. And if
who's going to what?
Well, I don't. But this has been going on since the off season.
I think that's the
why
thing
he should have booted him.
That's
4
the thing
months
I
ago.
take away is, we saw how Heupel handled the Nico situation.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think for him to give Boo a second chance is very, important in terms of what he thought of him, obviously. Like you said, William, a guy with that talent, an all-freshman player, you want him on your roster. And obviously it didn't end up. And they asked Heupel after the game, did you regret that decision? And he said, no, I didn't regret it. We wanted him here. And sometimes you take chances on guys like that. And, so I think Heupel even did Boo Carter a service saying, no, I don't regret this.
Yeah.
We gave him his chance. And, so that's how it happens sometimes is it just doesn't pan out.
Well, we talked about this yesterday, and I was the lone wolf of saying that he should have come back. Brett said that he shouldn't have. Garrett was adamant about it as well. Jackson, too. I just go back in June and July and August when we were talking about it. He needed to be on this team.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He was, what he did in 2024, he was a very talented player, all SEC freshman
It's
team.
not a reason to keep a guy on the team, though.
I think there would have been a lot of what ifs if he removed him too soon.
He clearly cared about that second chance.
Well,
because evidently he was still missing meetings during the whole season. That's why he never could get back on the field.
I'm just saying you have to
you
have to give a guy the opportunity. There are plenty of people that make mistakes in life, but
he expressed he didn't want to be here during that time. He wasn't here.
Well,
if we knew that, don't you think Heupel did?
Well, I don't think he explicitly said he didn't want to be.
Yeah,
here.
there had to be conversations in house between.
I thought he
Heupel
said he was talking to Seton and all these guys at Colorado, and he was trying to get his way there.
Well, I'm saying that that was in December when he was fielding interest for the transfer portal. There were conversations that were had with Colorado, and Colorado was tight on Boo Carter, and Carter ended up coming back to Tennessee. They offered him the same amount of money that Colorado was, so they could play both positions. That is another thing, too. With all this Boo Carter talk, we forget that this guy was supposed to play two sides of the ball this year.
Yeah.
We never saw that.
Yeah.
As those privileges were pretty much revoked after this offseason. But they all disagree with me yesterday, but I still stand firm that he should have been on the team. You got to give a guy a second chance. He was too talented not to. And talent shouldn't be the indicator of whether you should let a guy back. You should let a guy back because he's a young man that has an opportunity to make and learn from his mistakes, right? He did not go that route, and it's unfortunate for him because he's a very talented player. Very talented player.
Yeah.
Great tackler, a guy that has really good pursuit to the football.
So what do you think happens with him? You think he goes and becomes an all-conference player somewhere else?
I hope he does. I really
think he's mentally just checked out of football.
Well, I hope the best for him because he does have a lot of talent, and you don't want to see a kid like this throw it all away because he can't make smart decisions. And smart decisions are a product of the environment you're in. And if you continue to be in the incorrect environment where people are giving you bad advice or putting you in bad situations, then you're not going to be able to achieve your dreams and be what you want to be. And some people don't realize that. And some people continue to stick around with that group and end up in a really bad spot and not what they could have been. So I really do. I mean it. I hope the best for him. I hope he's a hell of a player, and I think wherever he goes, if he figures things out, he'll be a really, really good player. Maybe being too close to home had a part in this because he's only an hour and 30 minutes away from Chattanooga where he's from. Maybe going out to Colorado would be good for him. Allie, real quick before we head to the phones, do you believe that Carter should have stuck on this team after this offseason?
I think it's fair to give him another chance, and I think that knowing that, as we talked about, Heupel handled the Nico situation the way that he did, I think we know that there has to be some conversations that were had between Heupel and Boo that we're not aware of, or Heupel had some faith in him for a valid reason. So I think we have to trust in that there was a very valid reason that he came back. And so I think it was the right choice for the time, and now this is the right decision to send him off at this point. But yeah, I think it was proper back then.
All right, got about 5 minutes till the break. We'll head to the phones. We got Rusty on the line. We missed him yesterday. Happy to hear him now. What's up, Rusty?
Want to talk about, you guys are talking about teams that could win the national championship and matchups and hypotheticals too. But real quick, you just asked the question, and to me, it's not Boo's day. It's Tuesday, but I'll address him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly about Heupel. I'm all for giving people second chances. So Heupel was right to give him a second chance. But if I'm going to give you a second chance, from that moment forward, it's a zero tolerance policy. You're late for a meeting. You're late for a practice. You're late for getting your ankles taped. Bye-bye. Right then.
Yeah.
And that's where Josh messed up. Because we all were told he missed during fall camp, early August, he wasn't doing little things and was being late for meetings, et cetera, et cetera. That should have been the end of it right then. And then my last question is about him. Are we sure he's super talented like everybody says he is? Or is he just a good football player who looked really good against bad competition in high school? That's all I want to know. Because I've seen nothing that tells me he's a great elite talent. So, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think you throw out a good point. I mean, I also look back at his high school timeline. Not a guy that had a whole lot of long stays anywhere either. It jumped around from like 3 different places.
Not a lot of consistency day to day. Anyway, you guys talking about who could win the national championship. And I think there's like one team that if you put the hardest possible path they could draw in front of them that could win 3 games in a playoff, and that's Ohio State. Now, there's probably 7 or 8 that if the bracket opened up for them, they might be able to get there. Like I think Notre Dame would have to get lucky and get the right lineup for them, or A&M, or Indiana, Georgia even. I think there's teams that can win it, but they're going to need things to break down. They couldn't I don't think A&M could beat Notre Dame, Georgia, then Ohio State in a row. If that makes sense. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my other thing is I mentioned it last week that looking at, this is from Circa, this is their power ratings, how teams would be favored on neutral field. Who do you think would be favored right now on neutral field between Alabama and Oklahoma? And what do you think it would be?
I'd probably
They just played.
I'd probably still say Alabama's favored. If they don't turn the ball over 3 times, they outgained them as well. It'd be Alabama. I don't think Oklahoma's a national championship team, but I think Alabama could be.
Yeah, I don't think Alabama can actually win a national championship either. I think they're below A&M and Georgia and a couple others in winning 3 games in a row because they're too flawed too many ways. But yeah, Bama would still be favored. But how about this? Who do you think's the ACC team that would be the favorite over everybody else on a neutral field right now in the ACC?
I'm going to say Miami.
Miami would probably be the favorite out of any team, correct. I'd say the same.
Miami on a neutral field against any ACC opponent would be favored by 9 or more. Anybody. That's coming from Circa. Now, here's this one, and it's gonna kill Brett because he loves him some Haynes King, and I do too.
Yeah.
What do you think Georgia Tech and Tennessee on the neutral field right now the line would be?
Tennessee probably favored.
By how much?
A point or two?
By a touchdown.
Wow.
The ACC, Tennessee is a pick 'em against Tennessee is a 2-point favorite or 2-point underdog on a neutral field with Miami. Tennessee's a pick 'em versus Vanderbilt, Texas, USC, Missouri, Michigan, and Iowa. Those are all like a pick 'em or a half a point, one way or the other. So my point is, does the ACC deserve a team in the playoffs?
I don't think the ACC does. No, but I think the problem is that it's either that or you allow like JMU to make it. And I think Miami's better. I mean, Miami, Georgia. I think
all those teams are better.
All those teams are better. James Madison. That's the debacle I have, Rusty.
Well, the thing is, I think JMU's pretty much, if they went out, they're in now. It's there's nobody getting in from the American. JMU is going to be the Group of 5 representative. Memphis, Tulane, and South Florida, they're all well behind JMU. It's really
North Texas is there, right?
I'd say North Texas.
North Texas, they're behind JMU, but they're the next in line behind JMU as far as the FBI goes with likelihood. Yeah,
I think the winner of the American, I think, will be the Group of 5 bid. Because that win in the American Championship would be stronger than anything that James Madison could get done in the Sun Belt.
I don't disagree. We changed up how the seeding goes in this year's playoffs. We made that change. Do we not need to do something with the Group of 5 where in next year's playoff, if we stay at 12 teams, that says the Group of 5, you have to finish ranked somewhere, like a line, like you got to be ranked inside the top 20 or the top 15. What needs to happen with the Group of 5 has to meet this requirement to get an automatic bid into the playoffs.
That's interesting. We've debated that quite a bit.
I think if you're going to throw the Group of 5 in, I'm not a fan of expansion, but I think if you want to promote more Group of 5, then you have to expand because I don't like the Group of 5 getting in a 12-team field. There's too many good teams.
Unless you're undefeated and you're like Boise last year where you were one of the top 11 teams in the country.
I'm okay with that too, but we still saw Boise State, when it came up against a team like Penn State who, was better really in every single way. We saw that disparity. So I think if you want to put more Group of 5s in, that's when you expand. But I'm not a fan of expansions. I just want to keep it to the teams that I believe can win a national title.
Let's separate the Group of 5 and give them their own playoff, and whoever wins the Group of 5 gets promoted, while somebody from the Power 4 gets relegated every year. If you win the national championship in a Group of 5 in their own playoff, that's separate. Like if you're Tulane and you win it all next year in your Group of 5, you get brought up, and Mississippi State or Rutgers gets sent down, whoever the worst Power 4 team is. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Relegation and promotion like European soccer.
I don't know about that.
Hey, we would all agree that it would be fine to send like a Maryland or a Rutgers down every now and then and bring a lower team up.
Mm-hmm.
Or what Boston College, who almost beat Georgia Tech, by the way. Boston College has won one ball game. They haven't won since week 1 against like Dartmouth. Anyway, I've kept you guys too long.
We appreciate you calling in, Rusty. When
Later,
we come back, we'll continue to talk Tennessee football. We'll head to the phones as well. Stay right here. It's the Playbook presented by VIP Play.
For the fans, by the fans. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Vol fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Hey Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
God knows.
All right, back here on the Playbook. Just a minute, we'll talk NFL. We'll head back to the phones real quick, though. We got Roberto on the line. What's up, Roberto?
What's up, guys? I love following my buddy Rusty.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, man, he's great. He's the best. He already hit on what I want to talk about. So, but man, yeah, I mean, he's nailing what I feel right now. Like Tennessee, I feel like we're going to be the first team out for some reason right now. And when we are, we're all going to be just bemoaning that James Madison team or whatever. And it's not fair to that school either. What do you guys think about that?
Wait, you say we're going to be the first team out of the playoff?
Yeah, I do, actually. And
I thought you were big on having us in the playoffs. It's been your big thing.
Well, I mean, we're not going to be in the playoffs now that Oklahoma won. We're out. So, yeah.
So you think
I was in last week. I thought Oklahoma was going to lose to Alabama.
So you're pretty positive these last two games for us.
Again, chalk didn't hold. I mean, what do you want from me, Brett?
Brett, you're bringing him down.
I'm just.
Brett, you are like a lithium bomb in the midst of everyone else's depression. Have you ever thought of that?
Yeah, Rusty, I'm not a breath of fresh air right now. That's for sure.
No, your breath stank like you've been on a 3-day bender, buddy.
Far from it, but it feels like it.
So, Roberto, do you think Tennessee's one of the 13 best teams in the country if they would be the first team out?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I missed that. What did you say?
No, you think Tennessee is one of the 13 best teams in the country if they would be the first team out?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So you think we're beating Florida in the Swamp this weekend?
I think we're going to murder them.
Oh.
They are, like, abysmal doesn't describe how bad they are. Now, I will say this. If history holds, of course, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. Here's what's going to happen. We're going into the end zone. I don't know. Let's pick a player. A fake player, because I don't want to do this. We're going into some fake player is carrying the ball towards the end zone to win the game with 3 seconds to go. And not only do we fumble, he tears his ACL into 3, not 1. He fumbles through the back of the end zone. Florida gets it in 1 second, and they take a knee to win the game. That would pretty much sum it up. Or you could just say what happened to us with Pig Howard when we were about to beat Georgia at home a decade ago. I don't know if y'all are probably not even old enough to remember that. Pig Howard fumbled into the pylon, and it cost us the game.
He didn't fumble that. He got to the pylon first, but I don't know.
Brett, even I could see that. And
I know.
He absolutely fumbled it before he hit the pylon.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Yeah, I think we're one of the 13 best teams, even with our bad defense. And I think that we probably had – I don't know. I'm going to ask y'all a question because you're young and cool and hip and 6'7" and all that crap.
Yeah.
And full send or getting sendy, as the kids say now. I'm hearing that one now from my children. Do y'all think that Tennessee is rightfully in their place, or is 9-3 a really, really good season with the amount of injuries we've had?
I think 9-3 is a solid year for the amount of injuries they've had. I mean, look at the defensive metrics. They're the second worst team by points in the conference. So, I think
most of our injuries have been on defense, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I think, taking that into account and especially with, having to play Ty Redmond 80 snaps a game as a true freshman, 9 wins is, I think especially with the injuries you've had, it's a solid year if they can.
Is it an A?
Ooh.
I wouldn't say it's an A because I think they could have one loss.
Yeah.
So the way that they've lost these games, these close games against Georgia, and against Oklahoma, it's they could have one loss right now if they play the way that.
What did you have them before the season?
How many wins? I probably had them right here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was hoping for 9 wins preseason when we didn't know what.
So
Joey
hoping for
looked
9
like.
wins. You said hoping, right? I'm not calling you the carpet here, but you said hoping. So that would be slightly exceeding what you thought would probably happen, right?
Preseason, after seeing what Joey was, I had higher expectations, but then seeing what the defense looked like kind of brought it back down. So this is kind of what I was expecting.
Okay. So you're going to give them a B because you expect again, I'm not trying to be positive, but my God, where have we come from, y'all? 9 wins is now back to B territory. Do y'all realize we sucked for 2 decades?
But I think the standard's gotten to a point. You made a college football playoff last year.
That's a good thing.
It's
great.
No, it's a fantastic thing for Tennessee.
Yeah.
But I think with the amount of injuries that they've had this year, to have 9 wins at this point, it's something that
it's an A for me.
I certainly didn't. If you would have told me Jermon McCoy would not play in a football game for this team this year.
But we knew he was hurt.
And he's probably not going to now.
Well, no, he's not. He's not going to. But we kept hearing every week, he'll be back by Arkansas. He'll be back. It was one of those situations, and then you end up losing to a team like Oklahoma, and now we probably won't see him. But no, I think now they still could end up 7-5. So that's the thing. It's what do you do in these?
If they end up 7-5, it's colossal failure. I'll agree with that. If that's where you're going.
But with the amount of injuries they've had. I think 9 wins right now is something that's not the worst possible scenario by any means.
And thank y'all for the time. And I'm not going to be as long-winded as my boy Rusty. I'll just say that. And that'll be the first time that's ever happened. But let's just say we get to 9. Let's say we get to 9 wins, and we're looking across the spectrum of this season, and let's say we go win another bowl game, that means we're averaging 10 wins the last 4 seasons, right? By my math. I don't think Tennessee's been in a much healthier place than that in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? But this is what worries me. Josh Heupel is so disingenuous in his pressers, and yeah, I'm going to break down a presser for you. Okay, I know what that means. You know, y'all are gonna bemoan this, but like, I'm going to break down a presser. Josh Heupel is so disingenuous and so dishonest in pressers. You know, he's so much coach speak and goes beyond that to the point of lying at times, that I'm not sure I don't agree with this Boo Carter thing. And I don't like a coach who lies to me. I don't like that. Even though we've won 10 wins a year under him on average, I don't think I can deal. I'm not saying fire him, but, like, can he just be more genuine? I can't believe I'm questioning his honor against Mama Boo, okay? But that's where I'm at, y'all, and that's where the media is at. Everybody's trying to get to the bottom of this. Like, why do we feel the need to not believe Josh Heupel? It's because he is disingenuous and a liar. That's fact.
When has he lied, like, specifically? I know he leaves a lot of things out. He's the king of coach speak.
So you don't have kids, right? Just want to make sure. I'm not trying to
Correct.
be rude. You don't have, okay. So I look at my daughters and I say, here's the deal. I'm a human lie detector, okay? So I know when you're lying to me. So don't ever lie to me. And there's 3 types of lying. So if you ever go to a court of law, anybody ever been to a court of law, had to be sworn in? Anybody?
No.
What do everything you see on TV, what do they say? Do you swear to tell the what?
Truth.
Whole truth, nothing but it.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, right? Do you know why they make you swear to that? Because those are 3 separate and independent things, okay? Josh tells mostly the truth, but he doesn't tell the whole truth, and he certainly does not tell nothing but the truth. And I'm okay with not saying nothing but the truth. I'm not okay with just saying the truth. He needs to find that middle ground of the whole truth. He needs to tell the whole truth more often. Like, Boo Carter is probably not a problem, but he doesn't show up to anything. So we need to let him go, right? And if you said that, everybody would be fine. And then Mama Boo throws something about his injury out, and now I have to question, actually, has Josh been pushing this kid on an injury front to play through an injury that maybe they have a second opinion and they're being told not to? You know, Cooper Mays is a great example of that a couple of years ago. I could go on and on and on and on and on, and I don't like it. And it puts a bad taste in my mouth. 10 wins I'll take, but also can our coach just – he don't have to win a press conference. Just don't lie to my face and expect me to just believe everything you say from now on. That's all I have. See you.
We appreciate you calling in, Roberto. Sorry, guys. I'm having
He's always fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, I love it. You got to be fired up. You got to be fired up. Let's see. Sorry, I'm doing some behind-the-scenes stuff over here. Well, we don't have too much time for the NFL, but anything big from NFL Week 11 you guys want to touch on before we hit a break and wrap things up with Lane Kiffin?
Anything big?
Jaguars
Josh Allen turned into Josh Allen again in that big game.
Yeah, that was a heck of a game.
6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'll give your Duval boys some credit.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Big win for the Jacksonville
Steelers
Jaguars.
got a big win.
We'll see what Aaron Rodgers is. He has a wrist fracture. He won't need surgery. But
there were some injuries. Penix.
Yeah.
Drake London's out.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Shadur made an appearance.
Yes.
It was terrible.
Well,
Your guy.
let's be fair here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's hear it.
It is complete mismanagement and utter idiots, or just an utter idiocy.
You're not giving him any reps. Is that where you're going to go?
Is that correct? Idiocy.
Utter idiocy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
It's utter idiocy that this guy's never thrown to Jerry Jeudy one time.
Pretty crazy.
He threw his first pass ever to Jerry Jeudy on Sunday in a real game in a divisional matchup at home.
Oh, I thought he threw it to the Ravens. Sorry.
The Browns can huff and puff all they want and talk about how they don't have good quarterbacks and all this stuff, and they never hit the one.
They never hit
But
it.
why is your backup quarterback not once thrown to your best receiver on the team. Why is he yet to have first-team reps? Kevin Stefanski has a stick up as you know what because he didn't want to get Shedeur Sanders, and he wanted Gabriel. He got his guy, and he wants to continue to play him. But the reality is the Browns suck, and they have sucked for years, and they're terrible with managing quarterbacks, and Stefanski has an ego issue against Sanders, so he continues to not give him any opportunities. They throw Sanders out there, and yeah, he's going to look bad. It's a divisional game. It's a tough spot to go into with no prep with any first-team players all week. It was bad. Yeah, 4-16. Did not look good.
Is he starting this week? I think he's starting this week.
If he starts this week, I hope he does because that would be an accurate representation of what he looks like.
They could win that one.
They could.
They were winning the one on Sunday.
The Ravens had no business winning. Myles Garrett had 4 sacks, guys.
He's on pace for like 20, 30.
The Browns' defense, I think, is one of the best units in the league. I mean, it's been that way for a few years. Like, the Ravens had no business winning that game. I mean,
I agree.
That's classic Cleveland Browns football is what we saw on Sunday. And it's a shame. It really is because that's not how you coach.
I think it is. Everyone, look, here's the thing with Sanders. Everyone already has their opinion of him. Everyone wants to see him fail. Nothing he does is going to change people's minds. It's very, very similar to John Morant. People already have what they think of him. No matter what he does or how he plays, they're going to still keep the same tropes that they've had for the last 3 or 4 seasons. It's not going to change. And many people are not going to change their opinion of Shedeur Sanders.
Well, he's got to go and change people's opinion.
Well, when he goes out there...
Jaw has done it. Jaw just gets a bad rap for all the off-court stuff.
I know, but with Sanders,
Jaw can play.
You're not even giving him a fair chance. What other quarterback...
Oh, no, that was not
What
fair
other backup quarterback in the NFL doesn't get any reps with their first team?
Probably none.
Probably none.
Yeah, you saw Malik Willis.
Yeah.
I got like 1 or 2 drives, and he came in and immediately went on a touchdown drive.
That's what happens when you run with the... I mean, like...
Stefanski just needs to be gone.
That is horrible mismanagement.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Denver? 9-2, first in the West.
Crazy.
And a win against the Chiefs on Sunday. I mean, I was
they're skating.
I was questioning whether this team was like when the Steelers won at 11-0 a few years ago. The legitimacy. That's a big win. Like it's starting to
tough
get.
To beat if you got to go to Denver.
Exactly. That's a tough place to play. I mean, this Denver team, I was not in on them, but that win on Saturday, Bo Nix looks good. The receivers look good. Watch out. That defense is awesome.
Crazy. They have a bye week this week, so hopefully that doesn't mess up their
I just don't think they're a team I would trust in the postseason.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But if they only got to go score,
but I guess my point is, do you think they're do you think they're legit? Do you think they will? Do you think they'll win that division?
They'll win the division, but I don't think they'll win.
2 games up now.
I think they'll win the division, but I don't think they're worth being worried about. What I'd be worried about...
They're the 1 seed right now in the AFC, right?
Yeah.
What I'd be worried about is if I'm a team that wins my division, I got to play the Chiefs in the wild card weekend.
Yep.
That's what I'd be worried about.
That's what I'm excited to see this year. Like I want to see the Chiefs in that role because all they've known is the playoffs at home, really.
Yeah.
Well, the one year they went straight through on the road, right? I thought. But
is that when they played Buffalo in the championship game, like it is every year? But no, it's good.
They got to make it first too, though.
That's a good point. They do got to get it going. I thought they were going to come back around and start playing their kind of football, but we'll see.
All right, when we come back, we'll wrap things up. Talk Lane Kiffin. Stay right here. It's Playbook presented by VIP Play.
Congratulations. You found sports radio that doesn't suck. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
At Knoxville Insurance Group, they understand the challenges many consumers face when searching for insurance coverage. That's why whether it's for you, your family, or your business, they create a coverage plan specifically for your unique needs. Knoxville Insurance Group is an independent firm, which means they aren't beholden to just one insurance company. They search multiple companies acting as your negotiator to find you the best possible policy and price. Start a quote in minutes at KnoxvilleInsuranceGroup.com or call them today at 865-694-9788.
Have you ever found yourself wishing your clothes looked brand new again? Whether it's your favorite suit, that little black dress, or your comfy winter coat, Crown Cleaners can make it happen. From stubborn stains to delicate fabrics, the expert team at Crown Cleaners uses the latest cleaning technology to ensure your clothes come back looking and feeling fresh. Visit one of their 2 area locations, Kingston Pike on Bearden Hill or South North Shore Drive near Dunkin' Donuts. Online at crowncleaners.com. Crown Cleaners, a tradition of excellence.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
All right, wrapping things up here on the Playbook on a Tuesday. Coming up next, it's The Drive from 3 to 6. Russell Smith, Bob Baskerville, the Bear, and Walker Smith, no relation, rounding out your Tuesday here in K-Town. They'll be at Matlock Tire Service tomorrow and auto repair at in Maryville. So make sure to go check them out. Go watch them live, doing a nice remote show. I think they're doing one later in the week, too. They're doubling up, so...
Casual Pint, I think.
Yeah, Casual
Friday.
Pint. Yeah, Casual Pint on Friday.
North Shore.
Right. It might be. It's either Casual Pint or Bar. I can't remember. But
well, I think we just played an ad for something.
Okay. Yeah, they got 2 remotes this week. So go check them out. They'll be 3 to 6 as always right here on Fan Run Radio. We'll round out with Lane Kiffin, and
your guy.
I do like Kiffin. Kiffin reposted one of my posts a couple weeks ago, so
Really?
now we're keen.
Well, ask him where he's going, man.
Well,
Shoot him a text.
I was told Thursday that he
By him?
genuinely, no, not by him, but by people around him,
Yeah.
that he genuinely doesn't know what he's going to do, and that he's focused on the rest of the season. And I do know Florida's going to offer a very nice deal for him. Going to be one of the most lucrative in college football. Could make him potentially the highest paid coach in college football. Kirby Smart currently holds that title at 13. But yesterday on 3 comes out with that report of an ultimatum. I heard the same thing. Obviously, he goes on there today with McAfee and says it's not true at all. Obviously, I don't believe he's going to go out there and say, yeah, they gave me an ultimatum and I'll have it,
Should have just said where he's going.
I think if anything, he was denying the ultimatum part to it, but I don't deny that Keith Carter was like, hey, man, what are we doing? Because if you're an AD,
I got to start making moves.
If you're an AD, you can't be happy with Kiffin's family at least going to LSU in Florida. It's like you're talking to a girl, but then like you're going on a couple levels.
Do you think they've offered him a new deal?
piece.
Yeah, huh?
Do you think they've offered him a deal? Ole Miss?
I don't know. I'm sure they're going to have to.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying do you think they put anything on the table? Because there's a lot of smoke right now.
There is, and
you got to make it worth
again,
the stay.
as I said last week, it really bothers me all the crap that's being put out there. People just read message boards and think they're Pete Nakos, but
Pete Nakos.
Well, yeah, and maybe even Pete Nakos has had a tough day today.
Yeah.
But I genuinely don't think he knows what he's doing. I think he's focused on this season, and that was pretty adamant in the interview with McAfee. At least anticipating it, though.
It's crazy that guy just gets these people on there.
I know.
Like immediately.
I thought McAfee was. It would be in such a Lane Kiffin way of like Lane Kiffin in the early 2010s to go on Pat McAfee and say I'm leaving. But I feel like he's grown up now. He is still quirky, but I feel like he's grown up to where he knows that's not allowed or not okay. But that would
have
been
just went like this.
That would have been hilarious. Yeah, yeah. Or just like at the end of the interview.
Go Tigers.
Or by the way, I'm leaving, and then boom, it cuts off.
Maybe he dropped an Easter egg.
Yeah, exactly.
Point 2 later.
Yeah. Well, on the notion of leaving, we'll be leaving you, but you are in good hands. The Drive coming up next here on Fan Run Radio. For Brett Hutlander, Allie Campbell, and Alex Sarkis, I'm William Pattison. We'll see you same time tomorrow.